Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it. Armor is a obvious perk. This one, obviously, you know what it does. It does lower your cost. However, it also lowers costs of said Thorn, Solar, even Strangler. If you like Strangler PA, it does lower the cost of Vault still from 13 to 10, for example, in Thorn. So, it's just a useful card if you're making armor. That's about it. This is obviously one of the most OP cards in the game. This card, in conjunction with others, can make grenades stupid, like stupid, almost untakeable, or actually untakeable to a certain degree. They actually can make other weapons ridiculous, especially throwing weapons. Sheep squat shards, for example, they can actually make them stupid strong. Even in PvE, like I've used sheep squat shards in PvE that have one shot like super mutants. Yeah, I know it sounds stupid, but yes, it is hilarious actually. Crafting your chems, W Quantius, it's Psycho Buffy Berry Test. We all know that. Contractor, we know that. Cryologist, if you're running a cryo build, you should always be running this build. Also, this is also a good card to use with a Crusader pistol. Like, one of my favorite weapons in the game is actually a Crusader pistol. Cryo or Pyro Fusion. The Cryologist obviously benefits the Cryo pistol a massive amount. So if you have a Crusader pistol with a Cryo tank, I would use this. They use reverse onslaught with that too, and it is absolutely it will hurt whatever you're shooting. Like, it actually hits really hard. Curator, because if you're using in PvP, if you're using explosive bobbleheads, you're using big gun bobbleheads, small gun bobbleheads, etc. There's no reason not to use this. And usually, if you're using anything that has like energy damage or cryo damage or fire damage, you do want to get your intelligence, bumped up a little bit. Like maybe 8, 10, 15, hopefully, according to the build. You want to get it pretty high because it gives you more benefit. But actually, once you get to around 30, between 30 and 35, you're done. Like, you don't need more intelligence for science or cryo or type weapons. Like, once you're at 30 to 35, I will say 30 to 35. I don't want to give you a hard number. I never actually just super broke it down to a number. Like maybe it's 31, maybe it's 32, maybe it's just 30, maybe it's 35. But I do know by 35, you're not doing. It's not benefiting you at all. It's because I feel like 30 to 35 is a good number because there's certain weapons that I've used that I don't feel like 30 does more, and there's certain weapons 35 I don't feel does more. So that's why I'm saying 30 to 35. So don't. It's not really a hard number, honestly, from what I can tell. But I haven't super like broke that down, to be fair. However, I would say by 35, you're completely comfortable. Alright, Demolition Expert, we all know what this is. It just adds more explosive damage. So if you're using this weapon with explosive, you're using explosives, if you're using grenades, etc., you're going to add more damage. You're just going to add more damage. Now, I will point out something. In PvP, this is not near as important as you think it is. It will add a little extra damage to your explosives. So, like a V63. I see a lot of people use these. And LMGs as well. When you're doing ballistic, I'll use LMG because it's a little bit easier to, like, it's more straightforward. It does only ballistic damage. It's all it does without explosive. It's only doing ballistic. So once you hit your 110 cap, you can do more past that cap. So you can hit your 110. You'll hit an extra number to the side. You'll notice that when you're shooting anybody, you and your friend contestant, you'll shoot. You'll see 110 as long as you're hitting 110s with the gun itself. And then you'll see a number to the side. It may be 12, it may be 36, etc. Like, it's usually, I don't really ever see them over like 80-ish. Like, that's pretty high. Like, you gotta buff up pretty high to get like 80 to 100, etc. But, like, it's never impossible. But, however, the reason why I'm saying this is because it does nothing else for you in a weapon. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, in my own personal opinion, I will always use rapid over explosive for a rapid fire weapon. So, like, let's say, like, the LMG, I would never, ever, ever use explosive over fire rate. Fire rate is going to increase your rate of fire. So, for, like, LMG, my fire rate on mine is 190. If I put explosive, it's probably going to drop to around 150, 160-ish. I know it's around, I think it's about 156. I don't hold a hard number to me. I know it drops it a lot. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that with a ballistic type weapon. This is how I play. If you're already hitting 110s, and you want to hit it as fast as possible. That's why the Elder Mark is so really good. It was so good for a while. It's still good now. I think it's in the top three, honestly, for ballistic weapons. If you don't fight in PvP, like Elder Mark's way up there, because its fire rate's like 130s, 134ish, 135ish. It's amazing. Like it hits super quick. The LMG hits faster, like significantly faster. It's not even just faster; it's way faster. However, it's one of the but even then, the Elder Mark is still one of the fastest firing weapons in the game. That's not like a spin up time. So the Gauss minigun, the minigun, etc. Because the minigun fire rate is actually way higher than the LMGs. However, you have that spin up time when you go to fire, so it's a little slower. Like it takes a second to speed up, like to get going. So, and the 110s can be hit with that gun if you're fighting somebody in PvP. But I'm telling you this, you're going to push your build really hard to hit those 110s. So explosive could be good for LMG, honestly, like just the minigun. Just like the minigun itself, like the actual minigun. Explosive could be good. Like it can be good for you. I promise you, it is hard too. Because it hits really, really fast. Like really fast. Because even with explosive, I think it does like 200-ish rate of fire. So it's right there with the LMG, except you're using explosive as well. So you can definitely not, you may not hit your 110s on your ballistic, but between that and the explosive, you should be able to hit 110s overall, or at least, at least in, I would say in the 60 to 70 range for sure. Okay, these two cards right here, let's go ahead and pop these two cards right here. I want to talk about these real quick for ghouls. You're wasting your time for ghouls. And if you've ever played enough PvP, you're wasting your time. These are completely pointless. The only people that have a benefit for these is humans, because once you're below your glow as a ghoul, you're in a danger zone. It's like you're getting close, because that health depletes way faster than that glow. In my personal opinion, how I feel about the game. Like when I play, I feel like the glow, once it's gone, you're half dead. You're literally half dead to me. So like, once you push past the glow, it makes it harder for them to maneuver as fast. So you reduce buffs from being glowed, already, and even damage buffs, so like radiation power, mad scientists, etc. Once you get in there, these are not really that important for ghouls. Like quantums are going to do way more than these two can. However, as a human, these things are freaking really amazing for humans, really good for humans. You can bump that up, and I feel like stim packs do better for them. It may be like a placebo effect, but I swear to God, these are so strong as a human. You do need supers though in PvP for these to be useful. And I would say mix them with quantums or coffee. Like I still would say that, because like you still need it, because that's a lot of damage being put out now. Fix it good, just repair your armor. That's obviously. If you do hold a lot of food, yeah, you should be using that card. However, I don't lose a lot of food. Most of my food is in my cryo, or my look steamer, or my Deathclaw thing, like roaster and all that stuff, like my rad scorpion steak. I will take out stuff I don't want and let it fill up with stuff I do want. So like a Mirelurk steamer, easy one. You got cooked soft shell, you got roasted Mirelurk, you have Mirelurk jerky, and you have the fillets for the carry weight. Every time I see a roasted in there, I just jerk it right out. I just take that shit out, throw it on the ground, because it's 25 AP. It's a shit buff. So, and cooked soft shell gives me 50 AP. I'll just take it out. And then if I have too many fillets, if I have too much Mirelurk jerky, most often too much cooked soft shell, I might have 8 cooked soft shell, and only a couple of Mirelurk, or 1 or 2, or maybe 1 or 2 of each of the fillets too as well. Like I'll just take some of those out and keep the roasted out, and then eventually, like, it don't take long. You think it take a while? It don't take very long. I'll just have Mirelurk jerky in there, fillets, and cooked soft shell, and usually like an evenish number between them, like 4 or 5 a piece. Codesmith, if you run, I recommend this card. I actually use this card a massive amount, just because of it's really a quality of life thing, and also with certain weapons. So if they have polished or tarnished or whatever. I mean, yeah, you get them in that good zone, that sweet spot, obviously polishes like slam full healed, and tarnishes like, you're in the 90 to 100% range. If you make sure you keep that card on, you'll get the benefit for way, way longer. Like it won't, it's not super long, but I mean, it's a lot longer than if you didn't use it. So if you can use that in the build, I do recommend this. In all honesty, I do recommend this. I don't recommend this. Not with rate of fire weapons. I'm gonna be honest with you. This one and the other one I'll show you, would never recommend. And the reason why, the simple reason why, is it expels glow. I don't like that. I don't like cars that expel glow. If you're using a single shot, or like, if you're using a weapon in PvP where you're trying to do as much damage as possible in a single shot, so yeah, I recommend that. So like Crusader, like literally a Crusader pistol, yeah. V63 for shooting a grenade, yeah. Other than that, I do not recommend this for anything where it's high rate of fire, like an LMG. Like, LMG, like, say a Gauss minigun would actually benefit from this one. But, like, I would never use this shit, ever. Because you're just getting rid of health while you're fighting. That's stupid. I'll be honest, that's dumb as hell. If you're fighting someone, and you're just sitting there beaming them really hard, it's just, your gun's hitting, you're hitting clean, but they're tanking your damage, and then you're like, oh crap, he's going to survive my little beam, and they jump up. Well, guess what? Now you have probably no glow. Or even if you don't have no glow, you got very little glow left. So now, when he shoots you, he's not going to be like you're shooting through his glow and his health. He's shooting through a part of your glow, or no glow, and just straight health. So like I said, when you're a ghoul, these things are useless because at that point you're at the half dead stage. So I don't recommend this. Makes you a warrior. I mean, if you're a melee, why not? If you can fit that in, that's nothing wrong. It's just a quality of life thing, and it works for at least I think now. I don't know about autos now, because it used to work for autos. I've never tested it with autos as of late, and I really can't tell you for sure if it does work or not. You can test it out yourself, honestly. With a chainsaw, buzz blade, auto axe, etc., and just see if it works for you. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. Because it has worked in the past. However, I don't know about it now. Only useful for humans, and it's not that useful when it comes to PvP. I do not recommend bleeding bloodied ever as a human in PvP. I'll be honest, I do not recommend it. It is horrible. Like, horrible. And the reason why is this. Aristocrats exist. If you shoot somebody as a bloody character, you can have full assassin's armor on and be bloody. It ain't going to change a damn thing, because when you shoot somebody who's full of aristocrats, even if they have one aristocrat, if they have full aristocrats, bro, you're dead in like a millisecond. Like, as soon as you shoot them and you get a little short burst, you're dead. Handmade, Elder's Mark, LMG, you're just going to drop. You're going to drop pretty much instantly. And even if you do like really range fighting, which is not really easy to do, it is possible, it's not easy. But if you're fighting a PvP fight, when you're actually fighting somebody who has some knowledge, I'm going to be honest with you, man, it's going to be pretty much impossible. Because if you're using a single shot explosive weapon, let's just use something from the old school. A dragon. Let's say you're using a dragon. You're going to one-shot yourself. The Pedro pistol, you're going to one-shot yourself. Because all that damage you're throwing at them is going to come right back. It's going to drop you. Like, high rate of fire weapon, it's even faster because it's just, like a small burst. So, this card really doesn't have a place in PvP. Not anymore. It really don't. You can use it as a full health human. You can use it, but it's not like... It's not doing a lot for you, but it can do some, but it's not much. It's really not much. Power patcher, cheaper, repair for your PA. If you wear a PA during this meta, I'll be honest with you, props to you. I mean, if you like it, you like it, I get it, but I will not be using that shit unless I'm just trolling somebody, because it's just not good anymore. Pyro-technician. This influences everything fire. So, remember this. If you're using a weapon that has fire, if you're using a grenade, if you're using a melee weapon, it has fire attached to that weapon, a bow, it's all influenced. This card influences every type. Just like the Cryo-technician, the Cryologist, it influences everything fire. I don't care what it is. Fire is influenced every single time. So A Crusader pistol with a fire magazine influences. A sheep squat staff influences. A branding iron influences it. Anything. If you use an enclave, you can use enclave, but you do have have to have a beta wave tuner of some type, like severe or refined. Like you have to use those attachments. The enclave flamer, the actual flamer, is not flames technically. You have to use a beta wave tuner or something like that to add flame, like DOT damage. The flamer, the flame coming out of the gun is not a flamer as far as the coating is, as you know, as it feels. Like Holy Fire, obviously yes, you have DOT. So unless you shoot something that has like actual ticks of DOT, it's not a flamer. It can actually have visuals, but if it doesn't have a tick, it's not a DOT tick. It's not flames. Just FYI. PvE type. I mean, I guess you can use PvP, but it's not really that great because you're already capped at 198 for like glowing gut. So once you, I mean, not really useful. But with environment, I guess it could be useful for PvE. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. However, I wouldn't think this card would be very important. Not high on the list. Like I said, I don't like these cards. They're great for PvE. Like this and Mass Scientists are amazing for PvE. It can boost the hell out of your damage. However, PvP wise, nah, I don't give a fuck about these cards. I'm not getting rid of my glow. I'm not getting rid of my health just to add the same amount of damage I would have without it. I'm not doing that. The only way this is useful is if you really need to get 110s and you can't. Like it's you're just having a problem with getting 110. Like for the minigun, for example, for sure. That's it. Like I would never use this in a gun that I can hit 110s on ballistic or energy. There's no way in hell I would use this. It's a waste of time. You're getting rid of health for no reason to do the same amount. Just to not do more, not much more damage. Like it's you know, PvP is all about min max. So you're maximizing the damage, you're minimizing your intake of damage. So like basically this would be, yeah, you're slightly maximizing your damage, but you're greatly reducing how much damage you will intake, increasing, the damage you will intake, or how quickly you would take it. So like technically this wouldn't be a min max. This would pull the scale up one way and bring it down the other way. So I would not recommend this card. Unless you use a single shot weapon. Like if you're doing a slow firing weapon, yeah, this could be fine, absolutely. But other than that, high rate of fire, no, don't use that shit. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your health, literally. Science, anything energy based. V63, Gauss minigun, even the Crusader pistol. Absolutely, funny enough, if you're using a fusion cell type, yeah, it's influence, pepper shaker, etc. It's anything energy based. And that 30 to 35 range is where you want to hit to get the full benefit. Scrapper, get more shit, obviously, for breaking stuff down. Stabilize, if you're using the LMG in free game, actually any big gun, like any big gun that has a spread, a bloom, so like the Holy Fire, no, you don't need this with a Holy Fire. And it's kind of redundant. You don't need accuracy. It already shoots straight. But the LMG, for example, the Gauss minigun, the minigun, etc., pepper shaker, greatly obviously benefit from this. This is a very straightforward card. In or out of PA, by the way, because as you notice, it doubles in PA, so you get 60% more accuracy when you're PA and 30% out of PA. But a lot of those guns do not need PA to be extremely like accurate. Like I promise you don't need it that bad. Stable tools, we all know what that is. That is obviously for autos. Like I said, I would still check Makeshift Warrior, because double check me, because it's been a while since I've used it. I would double check it, because I do know this works fine. I know this works, but that was 80%, that's 40%, so if it still works, I would use the 80% over this. Still the same amount of cards. And weapons are obviously because you repair your weapon, etc. And that's it. That's all for intelligence. Very straightforward, and batteries included. I actually have energy ammo on me. That's an obvious one. That's a quality life card. And there you go, guys. That's it. Alright, guys. That's full intelligence. That's the whole full breakdown as quickly as possible. Like I said, any questions, any comments you would like to put, pop down in the comment section. Let me know. And I'll help you out best I can. See you on the next one. And thanks for watching.